Afternoon all, happy Wednesday, hope you had a good Valentine's Day and all that bollocks. So it's No Respawns and I'm back at you again with a mod review. Mod reviews, actually I'm doing three. So the first one is another workshop items mod. It's actually called Workshop Items by a mod dev called Calib Gaddafi, which I had to read 3 or 4 times so I could actually pronounce properly. But anyway, Calib Gaddafi, there we go. Rolls off the tongue, that one. Anyway, this one's pretty cool. It adds kind of stuff which isn't, because I do download quite a lot of settlement mods, and often they just add the same stuff that's already in through unlock summon objects. But this is specifically stuff that isn't available right now. Now, where you find it, because obviously what Andrew CX has done has made the unlock summon objects mod this kind of its own integrated menu. It means you find it in the old menu, so on the main menu of the workshop tab when you log in. As you can see, you've got this pretty cool Raider Cage stuff as well, which I'm going to have some fun with. Now, it's pretty cool. It adds basically loads of kind of residential stuff like this. It seems to follow mostly the kind of traditional wood, concrete, and then barn template. You'll get the shape once you kind of play around with them. Now, the one issue, and I'm not sure if it's me or it's actually the mod dev themselves, basically, because I've got unlock certain objects, and that did a slightly weird thing with the original menus where some items were kind of invisible. So I'm not too sure. By the way, I really like that kind of like weird Lilo-y carpet thing that they've got there. That's cool. Anyway, yes, I'm not sure. You'll see in a minute that I go into the misc section of the wood tab, and I physically can't actually see the menu icons. You can scroll through and the items appear fine, but I'm not too sure if it's just my load orders all messed up. Someone let me know actually, because I'm not too sure. However, you can still place the mods around. Because it's quite a reasonably recent mod, and it's not as popular as unlock summon objects yet. As you can see, it's not really as well organized, but the actual items themselves are incredibly good. They all snap together. There are buildings which you'll see in a sec, which you can place items. So they're incredibly coded very, very well. It's just the actual menu, as of right now, isn't organized so well. So other than that, it's pretty cool. You see some cool stuff here. Now that right there is another mod, which I'll show you in a sec. But this concrete stuff I don't like, but that's not so much just a reflection on the mod dev. It's just more I really dislike using concrete now. Have you noticed when was the last time Davey used concrete for other than pillar glitching? Not very long. It just looks a little weird. I used to love concrete, and now I don't love concrete, and I don't know why. There is stuff in the metal slab. I had to have a quick look-see, because I wasn't too sure. There we go. And this is where you mean, see, if you see, the items are actually starting to, I can't see the icons. Oh, the plain pieces, by the way, are just the plain mod, which I've used before. It's just I've got 2 of them. So there's quite some funky stuff in here. It all fits really, really well. I like these stairs, and there are variations on those stairs inside. I'm gonna fiddle around with the mods later on to see if maybe I've just got the load order in kind of sort of outside and see the items, because it'll make it a little bit easier. But because I'm used to these things, I can just scroll through and find them. Because it's only the modded items in here as well, because obviously Andrew CX has put all of his modded items in a different menu. It doesn't really bother me. Now, you see the structures wood tab, you just can't see anything. It's hilarious. Some of the stuff do that kind of pinky bullshit. You see these right here I quite like, because they're actually, I believe I don't know if they're sanctuary houses, or some of them are. It's quite clean house. So some of those stairs I really like, because some of the others you can see they're invisible on one side, whereas these I can just kind of plop in. So I'm gonna have quite a lot of fun with these. I'll have a look. See, there's some nice elements in there. It's just more stuff to use. I like new structural elements. It reminds me a lot of the buildings in Covenant, especially. And this is where it gets confusing. So once you get into the structures, you can scroll over to MISC. Yeah, and the stuff in there. So this acoustic panels, it's one of the houses, one of the schools that has, it's like a music school. It has a music room upstairs. I think that's the only place I've seen acoustic panels. Loads of, obviously, you see those massive block entrances. Loads of pillars. I do like the pillars. There we go. Well, that one's got kind of weirdness behind it, but that one works if you want to. It doesn't sink, but it's pretty cool. Stuffs. Now these buildings I quite like. Spectacle Island was the only place I had space, but it doesn't have any flat surfaces for putting these in. Whether they completely you can put stuff in the inside, so it's grand. I like these ones because they still look quite slightly tattered, as you can see. But at the same time, they're not, like, shitey. Now, I'm going to show you in a second because I got another mod which uses furniture, and I can show you stuffs. So you've got some... There's just so much... Basically, this is all the stuff that's kind of... that you find just around the city. Well, not even all of it, actually. Say... What am I thinking? Kind of Concord kind of stuff. Like all the building elements you'd find for the various buildings in Concord, which I quite like. And they all snap, which is cool. It's quite overwhelming. I think it'll be a little easier, as I said, once we've figured out the reasons for the menu. I said I just didn't know if it was my... I like the windows as well. Like they've actually provided quite a few windows, which is quite cool. Those shutters I couldn't find, so no shutters. Nice boards, check floors, always grand, like them. Corner bits and pieces. A lot of this stuff, actual glass. It's actual glass. I don't think I've actually seen... Oh no, actually that's an absolute lie. I've seen glasses on the greenhouses, but I mean like separate glass. More steps, bits and pieces. You see what I mean? It's like it's not got the same organisation because just everything is bunged in. But there are some really interesting elements, kind of wall bits especially, that would kind of add a nice texture. See, these steps are cool. I like those steps. And then kind of slightly angled roofs. I think some of the roofs that we saw earlier will actually match the sanctuary houses, but I'm not sure. So you might potentially... I'm pissed off that's attached to those windows there. And these are weird. If you see... these elevator pieces, if you pop them down, they kind of snap into the ground, so you might have to kind of like pillar glitch them out. They're a little bit confusing, but if they just snap together. All these various different styles of walls, loads of staircases. There's just loads of like funky cool stuff, and that's the end of what's actually in that mod. So right, then the next one is quite a cool one as well. Now it's in the furniture tab, so it's called Workshop Player Bed. Now, I was just kind of having a look-see, and I stumbled across this one, and this is... It is exactly what you think it is. What this does is it gives you a player bed specifically just for you that no NPCs will use in the game, which is great. Now, the way it works, I figured out already, also I put it in here so I could demonstrate you can actually put stuff in these houses, is that it just... What they've gone and done is they've made it so you can use it, but it doesn't actually add anything to the beds. So if you see I pop one down here, and the total number of beds in the settlement doesn't go up. And I think that's a fantastic way of sorting it out, actually. Is what they've gone and done, is they've just made it so that you can't... It just doesn't actually add anything. I don't know if you get any rested experience. The mod dev for this one, by the way, is called Astlem. They've done some other mods as well. It's only got a few ratings. A lot of these mods aren't as big as the mods I normally cover, so I wanted to kind of focus on these because they're quite kind of like niche, useful ones. I was found with Marcy or June were always sleeping in my bed in Sanctuary, so I'm just going to pop it. I also like the fact that it's called My Bed as well. It seems silly, but it's just that kind of, that personalised element I quite like. Now, the next one is a very, very useful one. Now, it's by a mod dev called Scientician. It hasn't been downloaded very much, but I'm going to sort that out. So basically, I think they're actually a subscriber of mine, so sorry if I didn't know. It was sent over towards me on Twitter. I can't remember who sent me the link, and I've been meaning to focus on it. But basically what this mod is, as you can see, it's got measurements on the side. So specifically, this is aimed at you being able to effectively measure the height. Now, you might feel like, where is the use in that? Especially, it's probably Spectacle Island is a poor place to demonstrate because obviously the ground is not even. But a great example where this would have been really helpful for me was when I was doing my walls in the airport, and I found I had to kind of like move the items next to the other ones. I was finding it really difficult to get them the same height all the time. Whereas with this, I can kind of like, right, put on a flat surface, count how many pips I'm going down, drop it, go get the other one at the other side of the map. So as long as it's on an even surface, select all, same number of pips, bam, and I can get exactly the correct height. I mean, there are pillars with kind of like elements that you can use as measurements, but this has just been so conveniently set up to be something that you can use as a direct measurement to kind of getting items the same height. It's cool. It's just kind of one of those things that I was like, oh, that's really, really clever. Anyway, I hope you guys found these useful. I'll put all the links in the description to all of the mods. And don't forget, obviously, if you like them, give them a nice 5 rating, leave them a comment, so that way they get pushed further forward in the kind of Bethesda mods page. I'll have another video up tomorrow. As always, follow me on Twitter at norespawns, and I'll talk to you lovely people soon. You enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.